All right. Good evening, everyone. I am Councilmember Rafael Salamanca, Chair of this committee. I would like to welcome my esteemed colleagues who have joined us today. We've been joined by Council Members Moya, Rivera, Chair Riley, Brooke Powers, Abreu, Majority Leader Farias, Hanks, Hudson, Sanchez, and Borelli. I am Councilmember Rafael Salamanca, Chair of this committee. I would like to thank Chair Riley and Chair Hanks for their work on our two subcommittees. Today, we will vote to approve the modifications LUs 181 for the citywide text amendment proposed by the administration known as the City of Yes for Housing Opportunity. As you know, the proposal seeks to address the city's real and ongoing housing crisis through a comprehensive update to the city's framework of zoning rules governing residential development. Just before the start of this meeting in our zoning subcommittee, Chair Riley discussed the council's modifications in detail, including our reasoning for making our proposed modifications. A detailed summary of these modifications have been provided for committee members in your briefing documents and in the committee report and resolution for this proposal. I won't repeat Chair Riley's extended comments describing the modifications the council is making to the proposal, except to emphasize that the council's modifications are extended to respond to the wide range needs of our diverse neighborhoods all across the city. We took our constituents' concerns under serious consideration and balanced these concerns against the very real need to respond to the housing crisis in the city, in which the city is facing. In addition to our text modifications for the proposal, I am pleased to also report that the council has been able to secure a wide range of commitments by the administration of $5 billion, with $2 billion for housing programs, $2 billion for infrastructure, and $1 billion for increased agency capacity, which will include expanded opportunities for the creation of new affordable housing, together with the preservation of existing affordable housing, with substantial funding commitments from the administration to achieve: 1, creating more deeply affordable housing; 2, supporting the expansion of affordable home ownership opportunities, including down payment assistance and help for existing homeowners; 3, strengthening affordable housing preservation, including substantial funding commitments to support NYCHA and Michalama developments, all of which are critical to the affordable housing which hundreds of thousands of New Yorkers live in today. We have also expanded funding for tenant protections. Substantial funding for infrastructure enhancements throughout the city have been secured, including sewer upgrades and new improvements, including flood mitigation infrastructure, including green infrastructure. These investments will be focused on the neighborhoods with the highest and more urgent need, with the goal of ensuring the city's infrastructure is in good state of repair while also being able to absorb new growth. Agency capacity will also be increased for additional staff to support the proposals we are voting on today, including the Department of Building and HPD staffing for inspections and enforcement, and DCP for planning studies that support community-driven neighborhood planning processes. For details of the funding and capital commitments the council has secured from the administration, it will be posted on the council website. Today, we will also be voting to approve LUs 185, 186, and 187 for the Port Authority Bus Terminal Replacement Project in Councilmember Bacha's district in Manhattan. The proposal includes a zoning text amendment, zoning special permit, and changes to the city map to facilitate the reconstruction of the Midtown Bus Terminal and the future development of commercial building above the new terminal building. At this time, I would like to welcome my colleagues who might wish to ask questions or make remarks. Seeing none, I will now call for a vote with the support of the local council members to approve LUs 185, 186, and 187, and to approve modifications 181. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Good evening, William Martin, Committee Clerk. Roll call vote. Committee on Land Use. All items are coupled. Chair Salamanca.
Aye or no?
Moya.
I vote aye.
Thank you, Councilmember Moya. Brooks Powers.
Councilmember Powers, how did he vote?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I'd like to abstain on the City of Yes and vote aye on the bus terminal.
Abstains on City of Yes.
Councilmember Powers, can you please repeat your vote?
Abstain on City of Yes, and I vote yes for the Port Authority project.
Thank you, Councilmember Brooks Powers. We got it. Thank you. Rivera.
Permission to explain my vote?
Councilmember Rivera to explain her vote.
Thank you, Chair Salamanca, for your leadership. I want to thank the Speaker for being a housing champion, for seeing that all of our neighborhoods are distinct and all deserving of a plan and opportunity, no matter how modest, to address our housing shortage while also securing unprecedented financial commitments. I want to thank City Planning, the Mayor's Office, HPD, and a special thank you to the City Council team for their hard work on the City of Yes for Housing Opportunity proposal. I'm voting in favor of the City of Yes proposal today because we cannot forego this moment. In negotiating and in my hopes of ultimately getting to yes, we have and must continue to consider our vacancy rate is less than 1.5%. Rents are at astronomical levels. Working class New Yorkers are telling us they are leaving because of high housing costs. And we are on track to lose additional seats in Congress after the next census because of out-migration. We are addressing this now with the City of Yes. I know more than most how much guff some will give you when you make a tough decision. But I believe we have to take a much longer view of what our districts and city need to survive and thrive now and for constituents in the future. With this plan, we are addressing the fact that the city is woefully behind in housing production. With this plan, we will produce more housing than all rezonings under the last 2 mayoral administrations. This plan's production is comparable to 10 Gowanus rezonings. So yes, we have been through the motions, and yes, it's about time. This is the largest unit creation in recent history. And with that, I vote aye on all.
Riley.
Aye.
Abreu.
Aye.
Farias.
I vote aye on all.
Hanks.
I vote no on land use item 181 and aye on all the rest.
Hudson.
I know it's late, but I would like permission to explain my vote.
Councilmember Hudson to explain her vote.
Thank you, and good evening. Since entering office, I've brought nearly 1,000 new units to my district. I'm now working to bring another 4,000 through a community-led rezoning of Atlantic Avenue, or AMUP. In fact, my district is 8th out of 51 for producing the most affordable housing units across the past decade, and that's a record I'm proud of. Yet some parts of our city haven't produced anywhere near this amount of housing. There are some neighborhoods that have barely seen one new building go up in recent years. It's clear some communities are doing their part to address the housing crisis and others are not. While every neighborhood and district is different, we can't keep relying on the South Bronx or northern and central Brooklyn to build us out of this crisis. We need everyone to do their part. This first of its kind citywide text amendment does the bare minimum in creating more opportunities to build housing, including the deeply affordable housing this body so passionately cares about. It gives communities and developers alike new options to consider when planning a new project. And let me be clear, these options are just that, options. Nothing considered in this zoning text amendment requires developers or homeowners to build anything. There's still significant opportunity for input through the ULURP process to ensure any project delivers what communities actually need. But with City of Yes, we create an option for more affordable housing units via Universal Affordability Preference, or UAP, an option to remove unnecessary and costly parking mandates that could create a financially feasible pathway to increased affordability beyond MIH, and an option to build ADUs that can provide older family members the opportunity to age in place. If we don't maximize our opportunities to build, rents will only continue to rise and push out longtime community residents, especially older Black and brown New Yorkers who live on fixed incomes. I urge my colleagues to stand up for all New Yorkers and do the bare minimum in addressing our housing crisis by voting for this proposal. And I'd like to commend the Speaker, her staff, and especially the Planning and Land Use Division for securing $5 billion for more housing, infrastructure, and headcount for critical agencies. I vote aye on all. Thank you.
Sanchez.
Permission to explain my vote?
Councilmember Sanchez to explain her vote.
Thank you, Chair. It takes an incredible amount of courage to do what you think is right, especially in the face of opposition. Voting no may be a far easier option for many on City of Yes. But in my perspective, we have a duty, a responsibility to do everything in our power to deliver for New Yorkers. For my community, the housing crisis means tenants at the brink of eviction, unable to stay in the neighborhoods that they call home, struggling to put food on the table. That's our daily life today. But let me be clear, as housing chair, New Yorkers from all over contact me about the housing crisis every week. While building a little more housing in every neighborhood, as proposed and modified today in the City of Yes for Housing text amendment, while that may ease the housing crisis in the long term, zoning reforms introduced are not enough to meet the moment. That is why I'm so proud of the tremendous work the Speaker, her staff, the Council, in partnership have done together to secure $5 billion of additional investments relating to the Speaker's City for All housing plan. A plan that is a response to, in addition to zoning, what are we doing to help New Yorkers right now? Deeper housing affordability, homeownership opportunities, preservation opportunities, improved neighborhood infrastructure. While the full vote is forthcoming, the full vote on ZHO is forthcoming on December 5th by the full body, I'm hopeful that my colleagues take the next days to think holistically about the modifications and the investments that the Speaker was able to secure on our behalf. This is the most pro-housing plan in New York City history. City of Yes for Housing with City for All. With that, I vote aye on all today.
Borelli.
No on 181 and aye on the others.
Land Use 181 has a vote of 8 in the affirmative, 2 in the negative, and 1 abstention. Land Use items 185, 186, and 187 have a vote of 11 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and no abstentions. All items have been adopted as described by the chair. Mr. Chair, that is a full committee.
Thank you. That concludes today's business. I would like to thank the members of the public, my colleagues, land use and council staff, and the Sergeant at Arms for attending today's hearing. This meeting is hereby adjourned.